Because we threw a lot of shows in my mom's garage,
Okay.
and so a lot of bands came through. And then even if they weren't playing here, I had a lot of bands sleeping down in the basement. So there's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't expect it. You know what I mean?
Your mama
some, random
incubated
house.
this whole scene.
Yeah.
I
I was like, Mom, you got to stay for this interview and tell them about all the tortilla soup you made.
I'm sure she has some stories.
Yeah,
too,
no,
buddy.
for sure.
Yeah.
Bunch of rowdy boys.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's
It's
wet.
wet.
Mm.
Don't get yourself wet. You don't have a swimming suit on. Whoa.
So then, yeah, just for the camera, do just like introductions. So like name what bands you were a part of.
Okay, yeah. So, my name is Nick Stutsman, and I was in Merchant Ships and Midwest Pen Pals and Park Jefferson, among other random small bands.
Yeah, totally. And then so like, can you recall what initially your first exposure to like obscure music was? And what that
Yeah.
was?
So, I met Jack, the vocalist to two of the bands, at a venue in South Bend that he was like throwing shows in his church, and I was really into like Devil Wears Prada and Under Oath and stuff at the time, and Jack's first band, We Are the Colossus, were playing there, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Because they were just like listening to like Christian metal bands, and you go to this basement where there's like 10 people, and Jack's running around screaming like a madman, and their bassist Cameron, who's actually the For Cameron,
Okay.
just like getting super hype and just like flailing around. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen, and so immediately I was just hooked.
Yep.
I was like, this is what I want to do. This is the coolest thing ever.
Yep. And there's something about it, like I'm sure you brought up something earlier, but like it feels like a little secret that you're a part
Yeah.
of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's like
no one else.
nobody knows these bands, and like that's cool because like I got my own like little thing that like nobody else knows about.
Totally.
Hey, you're gonna get real wet if you go down. You're gonna get so soaked.
You're so silly.
Or like, dude, I remember like 7th grade and 8th grade, like before all of this, I would sit in the lunchroom with a notepad and a pen and just like, how many bands do I know? Like how many names of bands do I know? And I just like fill it out, and like it was silly, but it was something I'd do. I don't know. And then it just became like, how many bands can I find out about that like nobody else knows about?
Oh, hey, you're under a chair. What are you doing? And then so sonically, what do you think you liked about like screaming or just loud?
It
fast?
was, yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. Like I said, like when I first saw Jack's old band, there was just nothing like that I'd ever seen before. And I like fast stuff. Like, I don't know. Anytime we would write a song in Merchant Ships, like we'd be playing, I'm like, dude, this is boring. Like, let's like double the speed of it. And then I was like, now this is sick. You know what I mean? Like, the faster you are, the more people are gonna like you. I don't know, kind of worked out, I guess, in a way.
And then what band came first?
So it was Merchant Ships, and so we were together so Michael and I were freshmen in high school. So it was like 2008 until the summer of 2009, and Jack and I quit Merchant Ships to start Midwest Pen Pals. Yeah, it was like probably like 9 months.
Sure.
So we started Midwest Pen Pals, and that lasted like a summer, and then we're like, well, let's just start Merchant Ships again. And so that happened, and we recorded For Cameron. And then we went on tour, 19-day tour, which was really fun. It's the only time I actually went on a real tour. And then by the end of that, I was just being like moody, because I don't know. Like, Jack is great. I have nothing bad to say about Jack, but like at the time in my head, I was like, man, like this just isn't fun, and like you're a fucking jerk, and blah, blah. You know what I mean? But now I look back at it, I'm like, you know what? I was just kind of being like dramatic.
Well, and the social battery runs out, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
us being on tour and driving around, like, we
Yeah.
don't.
Dude,
we're cordial,
yeah.
but I mean, there comes a point where
We're good with
Yeah.
each other too, but yeah, after a certain amount of interviews, it's just, dude, I
I'm
don't
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even
No,
want to talk
for
to
sure.
anyone. Yeah.
And like when you're like stuck in a van because we took a couple of our friends on tour, so there's 7 of us crammed into a van, and we're all just like stinky, and like, I don't know, there's like, I don't know,
Dude, we've
it
had
was
this-
just gross. And so by the end of it, you're just like, all right, I'm ready to go home. I don't even want to do this right now. But then you look back at it now and you're like, man, I wish that I could do that. Like, I wish I could go back and do that again.
Yeah.
And like I would, but like the time I tried to book the tour, they're like, "No, you're Nick Stutsman. I'm not going to book you." I'm like, "Man,
So-
that really sucks. I guess I'll quit trying." Like,
Is there like, can you give us any insight as to like why? And you can or you don't have to though. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Why?
why what?
Why they said because you're Nick that you
Oh
can't.
yeah, no, I don't know. I just have like a bad reputation from just like mistakes I made as a teenager, and like that's just kind of followed me around, and so like I'll message people and say, "Hey, I'm like in this band, and we were wondering if we could like stop in and play or whatever." And like in my mind, I'm like, maybe they'll be more inclined to do it because like I was in these bands, but then they're less inclined to do it because of just like things people say on the internet. And like I've read things on the internet about me that I know did not happen.
See, I'm super curious about like what some of the abandoned house shows were like.
Yeah.
Were there any, like, speaking of the nastiness and like also what the demographic was, like who were the kids coming to see you?
It was mostly like kids our age, like other high school kids. Because a lot of our shows were played in South Bend at this house called Cabana House, which is Jack's ex-girlfriend's dad's house technically, but nobody lived there and it was like totally unlivable. And so we wrote most of Fort Cameron in that house, and like that's where all like the best shows were or whatever. Like we had Balance and Composure in there, and like Koji and Into It Over It, and I don't know if a lot of people played there. But I remember back in the day, like going to a show where a lot of Speed was playing. It's just like us and 10 other people, and we were just like
a lot of the Speeds, like
they're like huge now. Yeah, that's crazy. So to think about that, another thing is like that band Old Grey.
Yeah, Campuche.
Yeah, Cameron Boucher, and he like they named their band after one of our songs, but they've done more than we have, or like they're like are playing like big shows and stuff. I wonder what it.
But are you
like,
aware of the allegations against Cameron Boucher?
No.
So that's the thing.
There's always some kind of allegation. Like I'm sure. Well, I can't say that I'm sure because like I've only met him like once or twice. I can't say that I'm sure that nothing happened, but I feel like the way the scene is, I bet you something was blown out of proportion. But yeah, tell me. I mean, I guess you can tell me what happened. Yeah.
I mean, just some sort of sexual misconduct allegation, but it seemed like a girl he had prior relations with. They ended up hooking up, and then months later down the line, she said that it was not the best or something. But we hear this all the time.
Yeah,
and
people are in shitty relationships. Like shitty relationships happen, and you start to grow apart from somebody, and you start to dislike each other, and then you break up, right? And so like back in the day, that was just natural. It would happen naturally, and then that was it. But nowadays, it's like, well, he's in a band, and he was so mean to me, and I didn't do anything wrong, and now we're gonna just ruin his reputation. And then the whole internet like hears like, oh, he did this with no backstory, and they just attack.
Yep.
And then you're just not allowed to make music anymore, even though like it's all you want to do, and it's what you love. Just all of a sudden you're not allowed to do it. You're just like, that's it. And even if what happened like was or wasn't true, you just don't get any option to like even if you try to like clear your name, nobody's gonna listen to you because they've already made up their minds that what you did is like wrong. Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
it's messed up.
It's crazy, dude. We've talked to a lot of bands, just similar stuff, and it's like, for lack of a better word, these are emo bands, or clearly people who are young and emotionally going through a lot. So to me, it's like, of course, there's some things that have happened. I don't know. Yeah, it's
no, absolutely
super interesting.
And
then
pretty big bummer.
Yeah, super big bummer.
Because it wasn't like that around the time that we were playing shows. Like when we were a band and stuff, none of this like cancel culture was a thing at all. And then kind of like as time has gone on, it's so common all the time. People,
we're in a time where everyone's held extremely accountable. It's
yeah,
like things that have happened when they were young. It's
and if you're not like totally perfect, like you can even be totally perfect, and someone's gonna find something. Or they could even just make something up, put it on the internet. Everyone takes it as fact, doesn't read into it like for themselves at all, or like know a person at all. And
that's history.
Yeah,
that's literally cemented in history.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So let's talk like this place seemed to be, or you and this area seemed to be an incubator for like a huge scene. So talk a bit about your mom's house and
Yeah.
creating something that wasn't here before.
Well, because nothing was here, and I wanted something to be here. Like I wanted it so bad. I was like, well, no one else is gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And so I started booking shows at the church that I grew up in, and then at another church, and then we were playing shows at Jack's church. And there was a lot of like church venues because we're like in the Midwest, and everyone's a Jesus freak or whatever, Christ warrior. I don't know. And so yeah, if no one else is gonna do it, I'm gonna make it happen because it's like what I want to do. It's all I want to do. So that's what we did. There's really I don't know. I don't really know like.
Did the songs change when you left the churches, or?
Well, I was kind of like already like starting to question all the church like morals and or not the morals because like the morals of church are like good and all, but like
the hierarchy.
Yeah, like it was just I don't know. You go to church and you just feel really like judged.
And so,
Hey, you got a bug in your hair.
DIY or die.
well, yeah,
DIY or die.
that was weird about growing up or like moving to New York. Like there were so many fun things everywhere. Like no one where we grew up, we had to make the fun.
Mm-hmm.
But in New York, it's like, oh, we're gonna go to this bar, this club.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm so not
really
used to
good.
that. I'm used to like sitting in a parking lot and like that's the night plan.
Mhm.
You know?
Get you up. Yeah, there's definitely nothing to do here. Like when you've got nothing to do and you're like, let's go walk around Walmart. Like
Yeah.
that's what Sturgis is, basically in a
Very
nutshell.
Very similar times growing up. And then I'm curious, like, was there any like community resistance to the music? Being so Christian and like borderline Amish, like.
Did you notice all the
Oh,
people
yeah.
around here?
Yeah,
It's
hard-
crazy.
yeah.
There's parking spots at Walmart for the horse and
Carriages.
buggies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But
Crazy.
was there any like these loud kids screaming?
Not so much. Like mostly like kids at school didn't really like us because like I don't know that I was the first person, but like in my grade I was the first person to like wear girl pants. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I was like I had like the rhinestone belts and like the girl pants and
How did that affect you? Like
like nobody liking me in
Yeah,
high school.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it helped write the sad music.
Okay.
It's like nobody likes me. All my friends live far away because nobody here. Like it was just me and Michael, and then we'd go an hour to South Bend, and like South Bend's bigger than Sturgis, so there were definitely more like punk kids down there. You know what I mean? Not a ton, but like we'd have to drive to Kalamazoo for shows and South Bend and like Chicago and stuff. You know, like I don't know. One thing like when I was growing up in the music scene, I always thought like, okay, you know, Mike Kinsella, like American football, Owen and all that. Like he's probably the biggest influence on the way I play guitar. He's like how I found out about open tunings and things, you know. And you'd always like look at people like that, and you're like, they got to be like making a living off music. Like that's like what they do, and they're like making money off that or whatever, right? And so like you might look at like movies like Juno has over 1 million views. Like Nick Stutsman's probably making money off music, right? Get like $100 a month, like if that. Well, that was off like just Park Jefferson, you know what I mean? And, like you definitely can't make a living with that. So with merchant ships, yeah, you got an ouchie right there. Like with merchant ships and Meadows Pen Pals up there, like maybe be able to make something more out of it. Like I used to want to just make music for a living, and like that was like all I wanted to do. Like open a studio, be in a touring band, and like that was the dream, you know. And now it's like I don't even like driving an hour to like go to a show anymore. Like I just want to stay home, and I don't know.
Well, it sounds like there's some gratefulness for what you have.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely grateful for all the people like that will send me messages and things because it just reminds me that like it's just cool to me that people like 10 years later like think that it's like solidified in history as like this cool thing, and it's not just something that is like in my mind, you know what I mean? Like it's still like real to people. And,
Or
like,
here,
for
you know?
whatever that means, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of kids.
It's cool,
Yeah,
dude. It's actually like so awesome.
A lot of lonely kids around the U.S.
Yeah.
Listen, to what you
Even
do.
outside the US.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes, and then so
That's the craziest part. Is that there are people like all over the world who will like message me. People who like Like, did you see that that movie's like Juno video with like the Asian guys or whatever? And, like, they clearly do not like speak any English or whatever, but they recorded a cover and a whole music video for it. It's like fairly recent. I'll show it to you. It's pretty rad. It's actually really rad.
And so, from all the experiences of like DIY, doing all these things yourself, really figuring out how to be a band and tour and all that, has any of the lessons you learned applied to today? Or has it helped you? Any of the skills you picked up there?
Say that one.
Yeah, of course. No, of course. Do not worry. We're
really
multitasking
to,
right now. Yeah. But do you feel any of the things you learned from all those youthful experiences have helped you today?
What has DIY taught you? And do you
Okay.
apply anything from the DIY
Yeah.
culture?
Well, the thing was with those bands is that I mostly was just like, I'm gonna play guitar, and Jack made all the merch, drove us to all the shows, like in his dad's van, and like set everything up. And so like my job was really easy. All I had to do was just play my guitar and just write the songs. Yeah, baby? I don't know what you're saying. You wanna sit with me? I don't know that it's really like changed like the way I do. I think that maybe you want to itch it for me? Itch it for me, please. Itch it. That's always been there, sweetie. It's always been there. Don't say no. I think, in a way, I don't care about perfection in music and just like getting it done. Like if you're gonna record something, I don't know, maybe I've kind of grown out of that. Like if I'm gonna record something, I don't want it to sound like crappy basement recording. But like at the time, like that was fine, and like we almost intentionally tried to make it sound poopy. You know what I mean? It was like, man, it's cooler when the screamo bands are like, it's just all the music's really loud and the vocals are turned down really low, and it just sounds like crap. You know what I mean? Like that was cool. Like that was really cool. And now I'm just like, that sounds poopy. Like kind of wish we had done better recordings of it. But like you listen to like, you listen to like Jack's new music. If you listen to any of that stuff,
It's super polished.
super well recorded and like well written. I really like that stuff.
And do you think there is something that adds to like the that it sounds like it was in a basement? I mean,
Definitely adds like that like emotional thing. Like yeah, just like having that, like you're at a basement show. Dude, basement shows over venue shows all day. Straight up. That's a leaf.
Yeah.
All right. You're so sleepy. I can tell. I'm getting sleepy too. I think it fits. Like it fits the genre. Cause like if you're in like a small emo band, like you're not playing big venues. Like for the most part, you're just kind of you're just playing house shows. So like if you want the music recorded to sound the way it would be at a show, or that was kind of the idea then. So like you kind of want it to be like, all right, this is what it sounds like when we're playing at a show. So like that's what we want the recording to sound like, and not so much like it was like we want what's recorded to be like what you're gonna get when you go to a show. You know what I mean? And not be like it sounds really good here, and then you go to a show and like it just kind of sounds poopy or whatever. At the same time, like the recordings were pretty poopy, but like I don't know, we sounded cooler live. I think we were definitely a live band. Like all those bands were just kind of like bands that you needed to like see live to get like the full like appreciation for it. Kind of.
Let's talk. I want to talk because she's clearly so important to you.
Yeah, she's the best.
Let's talk about how like fatherhood has changed, kind of like everything.
Definitely changed everything about me, cause like yeah, you don't just focus on yourself anymore. It's like you. Like before you have a kid, he's got so many pillows. He's got them all.
Yeah.
You're a really good friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Go.
Do you want one?
Like you hear like okay, when you have a kid, like everything's gonna change for you, and like you hear that, and you're like, yeah, okay, and then like the second you hear your baby like crying, like she comes out of the womb and like you hear the crying, and you're just like, I don't know what it is, man. Something just like changes inside you, and then as she's grown up, it's just kind of taught me to, like, when you love somebody, you put their needs before your own. And like I never like fully had ever really done that until this little bundle of joy. But she makes it so easy. Like being a dad is so easy.
It's a hat. It's so cool, isn't it?
You're really getting it.
It's okay.
Whoa!
I'm used to kids. Yeah. And then to also, let's touch on like what you do now as far as work, because I know there's a lot of curiosity on like what some of these kids ended up doing in the real world.
Yeah, I just work in an old folks home. I take care of old people. Pretty much. It's like, I don't know, and like because I don't really, I don't know, I'm kind of like a boring person in a way. Like I go to work and then I come home and I play video games and I go to sleep, and then like I'll have her and like we play and stuff, and then like she has to go back to her mom's or whatever, and then I just play video games and I go to sleep. And like the thing is, like all the times where I would sit and play video games, like back then it was just guitar, and I've like replaced it with something that is like actually way less important. Like if I took all the time that I'm just playing video games and replaced it with music, I probably have a lot of music to release, and so like part of it's my fault, but also part of it's like, I see you. Oh my god, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get me. You're gonna get me.
You got him.
You. I get you. I get you.
But it sounds like there's not this need to create anymore.
No.
Which I think sounds peaceful, not boring.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
I think that like after you're, because I've been playing guitar for 17 years, and so it comes to a point where you pick up a guitar and everything you do sounds the same, and you're just like, man, like I'm like bored of myself. Why would anybody want to like listen to what I'm doing or whatever? So I don't know. I just kind of like move on from that. And like because music was just kind of my extracurricular, did I say that right? Extracurricular activity in high school. If I try to play music in a band now, it just feels like I'm in high school again. And like I'm 30, so I want to feel like grown up and something.
Daddy.
Yeah, baby.
Look at
Throw
that.
it so far.
Yeah.
Go get it. Throw it again. All right. No. I don't listen to emo music or anything anymore.
What do you listen to?
I've
careful.
been really into. Have you heard of Still Woozy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Goodie
Still
Bag.
Woozy is so good. Yeah, Goodie Bag.
Really
yeah,
good production.
He just released a new record, and like the thing about Still Woozy is like everything. Every time he puts out a song, it's like fresh and like interesting, and like the weirder the music is, kind of the better it is. I think these days, right? Maybe.
Say again?
Like the weirder the music is, the better it is.
Yeah,
in a
totally.
way.
We're at a point where I think people are bored of like
Everyone's
super
putting out the same thing all
safe,
the time.
clean records. I think people want. I think that's why we see like a resurgence in some of the music you've made, and countless others, is because it sounds like it's coming from a really real place, and
Yeah.
that it doesn't have these